Another one. Decided to do two today. I love my coffee, man. Coffee good. And coffee banging. Anyway, listen. Fellas. Don't let these people fool you out here. These women, they don't let them fool you. Let me tell you when a woman is in her natural state. Like when a woman likes you, like when she's high on you, like you're at her peak level of interest. You know what I'm saying? When at that point where she damn near do anything for you, she'd jump off a goddamn roof for you. I mean, at that peak level where she damn near do anything for you, that's when she's in her natural state. That's when she's submissive. That's when she throw all that social construct shit out the window. That all that shit they say that a woman's supposed to be and all that shit they be talking, they throw all that shit out the window when you at peak level, when they got you at peak level interest, when they like you. All that shit go out the window. That's when they show you what they are. Problem is, the longer they be around you, the interest drops, and then all the bullshit creeps in. You know what I mean? Then all the social constructs and all the little phrases and things they talk about creep in. I mean, but it's just her level of interest drop for you. But when the interest level is high, she'll be in a natural state. And what's crazy about that part is, when she's in her natural state, she's usually the happiest to be around. That's when she's the happiest. That's when she's the happiest to be around you. That's when she just giddy all the time. She's in her best mood, right? When she's still in a natural state. See, the thing is, man, you gotta try to work to keep her. It's hard, it's damn near impossible to do. But you gotta try to work to keep her in that natural state. There's a couple ways to keep her in that natural state. Absence is one. You gotta be scarce. Cause once she get used to you, cause their imagination is your best friend. It could be your best friend or your worst enemy. Depending on what type of woman you got. Some women just get in their mind and be all types of crazy shit, and she like crazy, but in a lot of cases, depending on what you show her, it'll be your best friend, right? So you gotta try to keep her in that state, which is, like I said, almost impossible. Now, some women will come out of that natural state and they'll still be submissive because they were just raised that way. You know what I mean? That's just a cultural thing now. Being raised submissive and being behind your man, all that stuff, that's a cultural thing. You know what I'm saying? These westernized women, finding a westernized woman that's like culturally traditional, whew, wow, that's like a needle in a haystack. But a woman that say finding a good man is like a needle in a haystack, right? It's like a needle in a haystack, which is untrue, because a good man to these modern women is the whole 6 feet, 6 figures, 6-pack thing. That ain't got shit to do with no good man. That just has something to do with a successful man. A successful type of man. That ain't even like a successful man, because you could be making 6 figures and be 5'9" and, you know what I mean, have a dad bod. They look at you crazy. You know what I'm saying? So the expectations of men is totally different. You know what I mean? It's totally different. The expectations for women is basically the same. We didn't really change when it comes to what interests us. We didn't change. You know what I mean? Submission and beauty and, you know what I mean, being nurturing and you know, inspirational, all that stuff that's always what it's been. That's never been different. Men still do that. Difference is, women back in the days, they chose middle class men. didn't matter. They even chose men that were poor. They struggled together. But the family knit was tight. See, that's the problem too. Nobody don't value families no more. I mean, and that's a big problem. But when you value families, you know what I mean, all the other stuff. But you know, it's gonna be like a few generations, like, because sooner or later, like I'm saying, a lot of these women are gonna die off. Like a lot of them, it's gonna take a few. It might take about, I'm just gonna give it a guess. I'm gonna say like 3 decades. I'm gonna say another 30 years before women start to realize, like, oh my goodness, they was right. We ain't being with nobody. They really don't realize until they get around their 50s, and there's so many internet outlets of women, of men speaking out. So the younger women are getting to see it earlier instead of just listening to the women. So I say about the women that are in their 20s now, when they get about 50 years old, or, you know what I mean, things will start to shift a little bit, right? Things will start to shift a little bit, probably back to a woman trying to, you know what I mean, be on a nurturing tip or whatever. But like I said, when these women are at their highest interest, they're at their happiest. You know what I mean? It's ironic, but so many of them choose to listen to these little mantras and these little female things that never get them nowhere. You can listen to the way women talk. The women that are in relationships and submit to their men and all that, they always seem the happiest when you look at them online. You could just look at their aura and know they happier than the chick that's over here talking about they ain't doing this and they ain't doing that for no man, and no 50-50, and you got to take care of me. And when you got them selfish women online, they always like they got some type of attitude, or they always upset about something. When the other woman in a relationship that thinks more traditional, she might not be the whole way, but if she thinks more traditional, she's always happier. See it all the time. So, you know, like I said, man, next 20, 30 years, I think it's still gonna start shifting back. Women are gonna start seeing. I mean, once they can't date nobody, once they get to the point where they can't date nobody no more. See, women think, oh, I can get surgeries now. I'm gonna look fine for longer. You think men don't see right through that shit? Most men don't even like that surgery shit. And then when you get too many surgeries, start getting old, that shit start to look nasty. That shit really start to look nasty. The older you get, you start to look like one of them porcelain dolls, and shit get crazy. Look at Vivica Fox. Woof. Woof. Lil' Kim. Oh, God. These were beautiful women back in the days. Both of them. But anyway, like I said, man, that's the video for today. Like, comment, subscribe. We're going to keep giving it to them. Peace.